Yo everyone, what is going on, and welcome out to the third challenge video here on the channel. Over the past couple months, I set out to see if we can defeat Pokemon Sword and Shield with only an Eevee and a Galarian Ponyta. I won't spoil the ending for either video, but I highly suggest you check them out because their links will be in the description below. While you're there, make sure to slap the like and subscribe button since we do several other daily live streams, Pokemon Nuzlockes, and one-off videos here on the channel. For this video, I decided to take on the Galar region with one of the most dapper and rotund lads that I could find. So in today's video, we will find out if I can defeat Pokemon Shield with only a Cufant. When looking at Cufant's stats, you will notice that our attack and HP are its highest stats, with speed and special attack being its lowest. Therefore, we will have to hit last, but hit hard if we want to defeat our opponents. However, a base stat total of 330 puts us roughly 20 points above the base stat totals of most starter Pokemon. Moving on to Cufant's Learn Set, you will notice that we don't get access to a lot of type coverage considering a majority of our available moves are normal, ground, and rock type. You will also notice that Cufant only gets one stab attacking move by level up, because clearly that makes sense. So once again, we find ourselves getting a lot of type coverage from TMs and TRs. Now that we know what we're up against, let's check out the rules. Rule number 1, I can only use Cufant in battle. Rule number 2, there's no glitches and able to defeat the game faster, not that I would know how to use them anyways. And rule number 3, I cannot use any items in battle. However, held items like leftovers or an Eevee is okay. Since we can't choose Cufant as our actual starter, I played through the game until we had the ability to trade with Scorbunny, and then traded over an egg after defeating Hop at Professor Magnolia's house. Once adding Cufant to the team, I checked out her nature and ability, I named her Stompy, and we went back and fought any trainers I missed to get Cufant leveled up to start the challenge. Hop and I take a train to the Wild Area where we took on some raid battles to get some experience candies for later, because trust me, we will need them. Afterwards, we meet up with Sonia at Motorstoke in the Bidoof Drop Inn where we're introduced to Team Yell, who I guess don't steal Pokemon like Team Rocket or Galactic, they just yell. I suppose sometimes it do be like that. So we defeat them in the hotel lobby and get some rest before heading to the stadium the next day. Here Chairman Rose introduces us to all of the gym leaders we will be facing over the course of this challenge. Outside, Hop is so fired up after meeting Kabu that he challenges us to a battle. See what I did there? Dad jokes. I got him! At this point, Stompy is level 14 and is able to one-shot Wooloo with Rock Smash. Grookey goes down after just a few hits, and we're able to one-shot Rookidee with Rollout. Thanks to Cufant being a bulky lad, we're able to make quick work of the next route in the Galar Mine, and by the time we ran into Bede, we were level 17. With Cufant knowing Bulldoze, we were able to take out Solosis and then stack enough rollouts to take out Gothita and one-shot Hatina. After arriving at Turffield, we play with some Wooloo because, let's be real, none of us deserve Wooloo, and we decide to take on Milo. Since Cufant doesn't have any super effective moves against his team, I knew this was going to be a tough battle. At this point, Cufant was level 23 and had learned Stomp, so I had to hope that that would be enough to get us through. Milo's Gossifleur goes down at 2 stomps, and when Eldegoss came out, I actually decided to not Dynamax and instead keep using Stomp on the giant Dandelion. I then quickly realized that Stomp was doing absolutely nothing, so we went for Rollout instead. And at this point, we were taken down to 1/3 of our health from 3 max overgrowths, and we were able to take out the Eldegoss and obtain our first badge. Outside, we meet a kind doctor who thanks us for saving him from Team Yell, and he gives us a bike. If only real life worked like that. But don't worry, we couldn't make it a few more steps without getting into another battle. On the bridge, Hop challenges us to yet another battle once again. We one-shot Wooloo with Rock Smash, and we are able to take out both Corpsequire and Thwackey with Rollout. After making our way to Hulberry, I realized that I'm a dumb dummy and I hadn't got the leftovers yet. Once back inside, we attempt to take on Nessa, who has proven to be a challenge for me in all of my previous videos. And trust me, this time was no different than the last few. When taking her on, I thought level 31 would be high enough, but boy was I incorrect. I was able to make it to Dreadnought with full HP, but she managed to knock me out almost instantly. However, we came back at level 34 and we were able to take out both Goldeen and Barraskewda with ease, and we were able to make it to Dreadnought with full HP. This time we both Dynamax, and after 2 max Knuckles, we got our second badge. Sonia meets us outside for celebratory chicken nuggets, and we make our way to Galar Mine number 2, where we take on Bede once again. Due to us being overleveled for the gym, we were able to one-shot his entire team with bulldoze and make our way back to the Badoo Drop Inn, where we can rest for the Battle Marnie, apparently. Surprisingly, we actually lose to her for the first time since her scraggy new low kick, which left us at too low of an HP to recover for the rest of the battle. But we came back at level 37 and were able to finally secure the victory we needed. When we woke up in the morning, we decided to give ourselves a makeover and take on some raid battles since this would be our hardest gym battle of the entire challenge. And boy was I correct in that thought. My strategy was Dynamaxing early to take out both Ninetales and an Arcanine with Max Quake without getting burned so I could defeat Centiskorch with one last move. However, Kabu managed to defeat us at level 45, twice at level 50, and then finally at level 56 we were able to take out his Centiskorch and obtain our third badge. Outside, all of our friends stop by to say they're proud of us, and we make our way to Hammerlock where Sonia tells us the history of the sword and the shield. We make our way through to Route 6 after defeating Team Yell in a very random Silicobra cutscene. Can anyone in the comment section actually tell me the purpose of the scene, or do you all just repress it because it literally makes no sense just like I do? Once it's Stow-on side, Hop actually challenges us to, you guessed it, yet another battle. But this time we were able to use Iron Head and one-shot his entire team. Sorry Hop, it's not Cufant's fault that Kabu bullied him into being overleveled. Next, it's time to face our favorite shy guy, Alistair. Yamask goes down in just one high horsepower, Cursula and Mimikyu go down in one Iron Head, and this meant we managed to make it to Gigantamax Gengar without taking 1 point of damage. Once we Dynamax, we were able to take Gengar down to red health before finishing off with just one last Max Steel Spike. Once outside, Beat is attacking the village, and we put him in his place by one-shotting his entire team. Chairman Rose pulls the "I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed" card, and puts Beat in timeout until he decides to play nice with others. We decide to yeet Skeet ourselves out of that awkward situation, and we head through the most aesthetically pleasing forest I've ever seen, and we head to Bellenly. Once inside Opal's gym, we realize it's one of the biggest jokes I've ever seen. With Cufant knowing Iron Head and being overleveled from the last gym, we managed to one-shot the entire team, including Opal's Gigantamax Alchemy. I'm not gonna bore you guys with the details. Once back in Hammerlock, Hop challenges us to, who guessed it, anyone in the comments, yet another battle. Trevenant goes down to just one Play Rough, Heatmore and Bolton go down to one high horsepower, Rillaboom uses Knockoff, which takes away our leftovers, which actually had me kinda scared, but he manages to go down after a barrage of Iron Heads. This left us at 38 health when Snorlax came in, which thankfully went down to one Iron Head. After dodging all of the encounters in Route 8, we make our way to Sirchester and complete one of the most annoying challenges in the game. It's time to face Melanie. Frostmoth and Darmanitan go down in just one Iron Head, Eiscue goes down after a barrage of several attacks, and out comes Lapras. We both go Super Saiyan, and Lapras goes down after 2 Max Steel Spikes. Sonia meets us outside, and we chow down on some chicken nuggies before Hop decides to battle us. And you know, I think it's only been 2 minutes since I last saw him, but here we are. Double goes down to one Rock Smash, Rillaboom and Snorlax go down to one Iron Head, Panurchin goes down to one high horsepower, and after one massive stall fest, the Corviknight finally went down, and we are able to move on with our lives. Outside Spike Booth, Marnie challenges us to a battle. For the first time, we got some of the worst RNG I've ever seen, so we're just gonna pretend that battle never happened, and we're gonna move on to the fight where we one-shot her entire team. Once fighting peers, Scrafty goes down to one Play Rough, and we managed to outsmart Obstagoon's Obstruct with a combination of Growl and Play Roughs, which then allowed us to make quick work of the rest of his team. After getting our badge, Leon is outside fighting Giant Meowths, and we're encouraged to take on Rayhan. I knew this battle was going to be a challenge, but I did not expect to have to grind to level 81 in order to defeat him. Just like in Spike Booth, we used a Magikarp with Splash as our filler Mon as fodder, and we were quickly able to target the Flygon so it doesn't drop our attack. Ironhead manages to one-shot the Sandaconda, and when Duraludon comes out, we both Dynamax and Gigantamax. Thankfully, Duraludon goes down after one Max Quake, and Gigalith goes down to one last Max Steel Spike, getting us our last badge. After a quick train ride, we were able to make it to Winden, where we proved that third time really is the charm. After a quick battle with Marnie, we're able to one-shot her entire team. Now, everyone, boys and girls, it is time to face Hop for the last time. Double manages to go down in 2 Iron Heads, Panurchin goes down to 1 high horsepower, Corviknight comes out and I decide to Dynamax early and go for Max Knuckles to boost my attack. Rillaboom comes out and Dynamaxes, and we're able to make it out with just one last Max Knuckle. Just when we think it's time to fight the champion, he goes missing. Therefore, Hot Marnie and I team up and we make our way to Rose Tower, where we fight Rose's creepy friend with anger issues. We managed to take her and her cheeky team down with no issues, and even managed to one-shot her Gigantamax Garbodor before rescuing the champion and exploring Wyndon the next day. Here we fight Bede, and just like Opal, we are able to one-shot his entire team with Iron Head and take out his G-Max Hatterene with just one Max Steel Spike. Up next is Nessa, who leads with her Golisopod. At this point we're level 83 and are able to do some solid damage. Seeking and Pelipper go down with Iron Head, and by the time Dreadnought comes out, we're at 1/3 health. Thankfully, we are able to one-shot it with just one last Max Quake. Alistair gave us plenty of difficulty, and it took us 3 attempts to find a round where we could win. I went in at level 88 and was finally able to hold my own against him. Dusknoir comes in, and we're finally able to take him down with one Iron Head. Chandelure and Poltegeist go down to 1 high horsepower, and Cursula goes down to one last Iron Head before Gengar comes in and Gigantamaxes. We match his size and manage to land one last Max Quake that takes him out and leads us to the last of the gym leader battles. Rayhan. He leads with Torkoal, and we manage to outspeed and kill with 1 high horsepower. Turtonator, Flygon both go down with 1 hit as well. Goodra comes out and we Dynamax in order to take it out with just 1 Max Starfall, and by the time Duraludon comes out, we are able to take it out with just one last Max Quake. The story finally brings us to the Sword and the Shield, where we meet the good boys who help us defeat Chairman Rose, and we meet Leon at the roof, where you know how the story goes. Evil space demon, saving the world, yada yada yada, they all lived happily ever after. But not quite yet. It's time to face Leon. It took me 6 attempts to get this far, and I won't bore you with the details, but essentially what we had to do was grind up to level 100. We went and grabbed the Eevee, took a ton of protein and carbos to max out our attack and speed, and finally got some good luck with RNG. He starts with Aegislash, and we get lucky that he doesn't go for King Shield, so we managed to take it out with 1 high horsepower. Haxorus gets a low roll on Earthquake and only does 1/3 of our health, but thankfully it goes down with just 1 Play Rough. Dragapult goes for Flamethrower, taking us down to just under half health, and we take it out with 1 more Play Rough as well. Inteleon comes out and I decide to Dynamax and risk it for the biscuit. We go for Max Starfall and we take out Inteleon and Mr. Rhyme in just 1 hit. Now it's time for Gigantamax Charizard. When Charizard comes out, I literally sat there and thought we were boned. After 6 attempts, I was genuinely curious as to whether or not we were actually going to be able to win this challenge. For some reason, however, Leon misplayed and went for Max Airstream literally instead of any fire type move that could have just ended the battle. Thankfully, this let us get 1 Max Rockfall off, which ended up knocking out the Charizard in 1 hit, and with that we became the Galar region champion. Honestly, I probably shouldn't have won, and we got one of the luckiest rolls I think we could have gotten, but thankfully, this means we won another challenge. Thank you guys so incredibly much for watching, and let me know any other Pokemon you would like to see me do this challenge with in the description below. I will see you guys all in the next video. Peace!